Open, it's the 35th anniversary.
There's so many legends that have won this event. It's got so much history, and it's one that all us snowboarders absolutely love coming to it.
I grew up going to the Burton US Open from when I was a kid, long before I even competed in it. You know, they build a great venue, and it just makes for a great event.
You know, you have a lot of contests throughout the year, but this one seems to be where everyone's got their stuff dialed.
People get creative at the Open. It's always been that way, and it's probably always going to be that way, and it's a good thing.
It's definitely a special contest. This type is super fun. Like, I was really surprised at how good it was.
It's rad having all the heavy dudes out here. The contest will be really sick. The level of riding will be insane. Everyone will be shredding.
As the guys and girls said, it's time to drop in on one of the best halfpipes on the planet, which is sure to produce some fantastic riding from the leading men and women's riders at this, the longest running snowboarding championships in the world. I'm Preston Strout, and together we'll catch up with Danny Davis and Ben Ferguson as they face perhaps the moral dilemma of whether to ride powder or train for the pipe. We'll meet the ever-popular rider Scotty James as he reaches for the skies. But first, we'll take a look at some of the pioneering countries who provide the best halfpipe riders.
We got a strong halfpipe team because our roots go deep in that. I mean, the first halfpipes were made in Tahoe and things like that. You know, the first contests were here in the States. The Chinese actually have some great riders. Korea has some good ones coming up. I think it takes one or two kids to really get those national teams going.
I think we got good leaders, you know, with John Seaman, who was like obviously the first Olympic gold medalist, and then Yuri came up, and for us it was always good to have someone to look at and be like, okay, I want to be like this guy.
The Swiss snowboarding community has this where they're very precise, like their watches. They don't fool around with anything. That's where our style comes from, I think.
When you see a friend of yours struggling on a trick and you maybe know something about it, you don't really keep it to yourself. You definitely give the feedback.
What about X Games practice runs? Are you telling your buddy? No, I don't know.
And this is the halfpipe the men and women will be taking on this year. This thing an absolute beast to be tamed. The score that these riders can achieve in this 22-foot super pipe comes on several criteria factors. The first of which, and each of which 25 possible points. Amplitude, everyone's favorite, how big the riders are going. That will be followed by the level of difficulty of the tricks that they're doing. Of course, it doesn't matter how good they're doing the tricks if they're not executing them properly throughout the duration of their run, how they're keeping their line, how they're holding those grabs, how well they're spinning, and all of that will be combined with an overall impression score for a total of 100 possible points. Among the field are 3 Swiss riders and 4 Americans, including Shaun White, who is in the hunt for an incredible 7th Burton US Open title. But he faces some tough competition, 3 runs each. The best score will take that glory. Alongside me is Brandon Graham, and we'll guide you through the first run. Chase Josie about to drop. Chase Josie for his first run, coming up his backside wall. All right, so Chase going double Michael Chuck, a trick named after the Canadian superstar Mike Michalchuk, who made his name out here in the US Open back in '98. There, the switch double crippler, taking off and landing fakie into a switch double Michalchuk. I don't think anyone in this field can do that trick. There's the cap 10 double and an alley-oop. Oh my goodness, that could be a winning run, and that is his first attempt, our second rider to go. That was absolutely spectacular.
And all is forgiven if you're a little dizzy after watching Chase's first run. That was an aerial attack from Chase Josie.
We're just getting going, and that was a heavy-duty run.
Chase Josie has been so good all season, and that continues on with his first run here at the Open. Really interested to see how the judges score this thing. Amplitude, execution, trick difficulty, breaking through the window, 58.8. We add in the overall impression score, a 79.8. Chase Josie in first place.
Wow, and that seems like a very conservative score. Shaun White now has 6, which you would think is a record. Kelly Clark actually holds the title with 8 US Open wins, but Shaun White here today trying to make it 7, and he just goes bigger than anybody. Backside air to the moon, right into the front side 10 double. Goes about 50 feet down the wall of the pipe into a cab 1440 double from Shaun. So we saw Ayumu do that trick, now Shaun doing it. What's he got for us down bottom? The back 12 double McTwist. He's not human.
Oh my goodness.
We're not dealing with a human.
Open up the textbook and you'll see a photo of Shaun White on the front page.
Our next rider to drop has beaten Shaun White on multiple occasions this season.
Scotty James.
He's just at 1 with his snowboard and this halfpipe. It's his contest to lose because of how well he is riding right now.
You're totally right. He is in an absolute zone.
Oh, whoa, going back 12 right off the bat into a frontside 10 double. So Scotty, you see how much speed he is carrying into that cab 10 double. Then the front side 900, it looked like he sent that one off of one of the slope style jumps. Wow, that is an exciting run.
What a first run for Aussie Scotty James.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning of that run, the backside 1260.
Got confidence in his approach, and that's fully showcased out here today.
Yeah, well, a beautiful display of pipe riding right there. The overall impression, they're gonna love this run.
Wow, huge numbers for Scotty James, an 82.8, and Scotty James takes over first place. You could not ask for a better first run.
Hey Mom, everyone back home in Australia watching.
What drew me to riding halfpipe, I think I've always really enjoyed the transition. I've always been a big fan of the transition riding, and it's kind of the closest thing to flying that I can do. Danny Cass is someone that's been a big influence for me, and Kevin Pearce, I loved his riding, and I mean a lot of them are still around too, you know, like Sean's around. It's really cool, you know, sometimes I'm up there pinching myself, but also I gotta, you know, kind of give myself a pat on the back and be like, you know, I'm riding against these guys now, so I gotta try and keep myself in that frame of mind. But being a kid from Australia, and you know, it's not really something that usually happens being a part of these winter sports. So I kind of take it in my stride and try and be proud about it, and yeah, keep moving forward.
Hi everyone back home in Australia watching.
I'm just really hungry for it, and you know, I'm enjoying snowboarding as much now as I ever have. I feel like a little kid again when I was 13, and yeah, just I think that's kind of been the ticket to my success this year. X Games is amazing. It's obviously, you know, it's put on a pedestal for all us snowboarders. It's something that we all want to win, and something we all dream about from a young age that we want to win. So for it to happen this year, I was very overwhelmed and really excited, and I had my family there as well. So yeah, it was an awesome day and it was crazy. I don't like to put too much pressure on myself. I go out there and I let my boarding do the talking, but it'd be nice to come home with a US Open victory.